day everyone, this is Engineer Royce Formaliza and ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is the DC biasing of the bipolar junction transistors. So for this tutorial or this topic, ang reference natin, same pa rin. We have the Electronic Principles by Malvino and Bates, and sa computation is Electronic Devices and Circuit Theory by Boylestad and Nashelski. Okay, so simulan na natin. Biasing of BJTs. When we say biasing of BJTs, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito is how did we apply yung ating DC supply. Diba? Yung BJT ba is na forward bias or na reverse bias? Actually, same lang dun sa topic natin regarding the diodes. Sabi nga, the analysis daw of transistor amplifiers requires knowledge of both the DC and the AC response ng system. And dito sa dalawang ito, ang inuuna natin is the DC response of the system. Too often daw, laging na-assume na yung transistors is a magical device that can raise the level of the applied AC input without the assistance of an external energy source. That is a common misconception. Okay, bakit? In actuality, the improved output power level is the result of a transfer of energy from the applied DC supply. Kasi sabi natin, transistor amplifier. Di ba, isa sa main application of a transistor is an amplifier. So sabi natin, kung amplifier yan, yung input niyan, lalaki pagdating sa output, di ba? So let's say the power is amplified. So where did this came from? Yung additional power na to. Saan nanggaling? So again, it's not a magical device. Okay, may pinanggalingan yan. It's actually the result of a transfer of energy. Saan pa manggagaling yon? Wala naman ng ibang input energy yung ating transistor. Kung ganito lang kaliit yung ating input, saan manggagaling yung idinagdag dito sa output? Meron tayong DC supply. Okay? Now, the DC level of operation of a transistor is controlled by a number of factors. Madaming factors. This includes the range of possible operating points on the device characteristics. Later, papakita ko sa inyo paano or saang point binabias yung ating transistor. Tapos ano yung magiging effect niya dun sa operation, dun sa level of operation ng transistor. Okay? Once the desired DC current and voltage levels have been defined, a network must be constructed that will establish the desired operating point. O yun pala, pagka designer na pala tayo and you design a circuit, it's not actually kuha ka lang ng mga components tapos isalpak mo lang. So these are essential calculations needed for the circuit to operate efficiently. Diba? And actually, para ma-sure lang na mag-operate yung ating circuit. Okay, so we have these important notes to always put in mind pagka nag-compute tayo. So, alam natin na itong mga values and equations na to will not change in any circuit. So, we always remember this when we are calculating or solving DC problems in BJTs. VBE is always 0.7. So, if there is a transistor, so, kunyari, ito yung transistor natin. This is our collector, this is our base, and this is our emitter. VBE is actually the voltage measured dito sa base to emitter. So this is VBE. We are actually measuring the junction diode. As you can see, this transistor is an NPN transistor. Diba? Napasok na. That's why palabas na yung ating arrow. If we will see that in its construction, ganito siya. N, P, N, this is the collector, this is the base, and this is the emitter. Tama? So VBE is actually measured dito from base to emitter, which is actually this diode, itong PN junction na to, yung lower diode. Okay? And sa BJT natin, it is always assumed that it is silicon. So ang gamit natin dito is 0.7 volts. So lagi yan, VBE is 0.7 volts. It will never change regardless of the biasing or the configuration of the diode. Take note of that. Next is IE is equal to IC plus IB. This won't change din. As you can see here, in this transistor, di ba? Ito yung collector current natin. This is the base current. And this is the emitter current. So what we see here is that the emitter current is actually the sum of the base current and the collector current. This will also never change. Next is this. IC is beta IB. As we know sa previous discussion, beta is the ratio of the output current over the input current of a common emitter configuration. So from this equation, we can say that IC is beta IB. This will never change then. Tama? Okay, and we can also approximate IE approximately equal to IC. Okay, kasi, di ba, IE is equal to IC plus IB. In reality kasi, IB is actually always in the range of microamperes. IC is in milliamperes and IE is in milliamperes. So IB is actually almost negligible in this equation. That's why sometimes it is being approximated that IE is approximately equal to IC. Okay, so these are the important values and equations that we should take in mind when we are solving DC biases of BJTs. Okay, so in here, you can see the characteristic curve of a BJT. This is the curve VCE, the collector to emitter voltage, versus the collector current. Okay, so yung curve niya, itong kulay blue. Ayan. So, bakit sir ang dami niyang curve? So, these are actually different levels of IB. So, itong nasa pinakababa, you can see here that this is the curve that the transistor will follow if the base current is 0. Okay, and if we raise the base current, the curve will change into here. Ito naman, pagka 10 microampere. This one is 20 microampere. This one is 30 microampere. 40, 50, and so on. Okay? Itong nasa baba, from this IB is equal to 0 microampere, tapos itong blue shaded region, this is our cut-off region, meaning yung transistor naka-off. Ito naman, as you can see here, we also have here a shaded region. This is the saturation region, meaning the transistor is fully turned on. As you can see here, 20 is declared as the VCE max. Now, this is case-to-case basis depending on the specification sheet of a transistor. In this example, the VCE max is 20 volts. What does this mean? This is the maximum collector to emitter voltage that the transistor can handle. So we never reach this point if we are going to use a BJT. Bakit? Masisira yung ating transistor. That is our maximum value. That's our limit. Up here, we have IC max. This is the limit of the collector current that may flow in the collector of the transistor. IC max here in this example is set to 25 milliamperes. Okay? And this curve naman, you can see there's a broken line here. This is the um, maximum power, output power ng ating transistor. So, yan yung mga limits natin. So now, we are left with this shaded area dito sa loob, itong kulay puti. And those lines, syempre. So, ibig sabihin, yung transistor natin will only operate within here, within these bounds. Diba? Limited siya by IC max, PC max, VCE max, cutoff, and saturation. Okay, so dito lang pala tayo pipili ng kanyang Q point or quiescent point. Okay? So sabi dito, no, the term biasing refers to how the DC voltage is applied to establish a fixed level of current and voltage. I already said this kanina. Biasing is how did we apply the DC supply voltage. Okay? Now, for transistor amplifiers, the resulting DC current and voltage establishes an operating point on the characteristic that defines the region that will be employed for amplification of the applied signal. Since the operating point is a fixed point on the characteristic, it is also called the quiescent point or abbreviated as Q point. Diba, na-define na natin yung limits natin. Ito, IC max, PC max, VCE max, cutoff, and saturation. Now, we already said that the limits of operation is within this white. Okay, and these lines, these curves. So, pipili na ngayon tayo dyan kung alin yung gagamitin nating Q point for our BJT. San ba siya pinaka-efficient gamitin? So, as a designer, it's upon our discretion where will we put our Q point. But again, there will be drawbacks. There are amplifiers that uses this portion here. Okay? Dito sa baba. Para isang portion lang ng kung ito yung input, dito sa baba, isang portion lang yung ma-amplify niya. Okay? Pero the safest is nasa gitna ng ating etong graph. Okay, meron pa kasi yung load line sa gitna ng load line. Bakit? For example, if nandito sa B, mas makakapag-swing ng maayos yung ating input signal. Pero kung dito, halimbawa dito sa C, yung swing ng ating input signal will be limited by the cutoff. We cannot make a very big signal kasi makiclip off na itong portion na to. Kasi remember, at this point, the transistor will be cut off. Diba? So, ang medyo obvious or medyo exaggerated na example ko niyan, diba? Input natin sa transistor is hello, nag-clipping, ang narinig lang, he. Diba? So, na-clip na yung portion na low. Diba? Hindi na hello. So, parang ganun yung concept niya. Okay? So, if we are going to use this part, itong letter C, then we will be limited. Diba? So, it will be ganyan lang. Malit lang yung ating signal. Pero if we will put it here in B, medyo malaki siya yung pwede nating ilagay. So, kung itataas, same effect din dun sa point C, medyo maliit lang yung pwede nating i-input. So, ganun naman yung BJT. Okay? Now, these are the different biases. These are the biases that you can see in books. There are also biases that you can see that don't have proper names. Pero, once you get the hang of how to solve a BJT or a transistor in DC analysis, any type of bias will actually be parang inuulit mo na lang yung mga ginawa mo nung iba-ibang types ng biases. So this is a good starting point to study the DC analysis of BJTs. So first, you can see in this inbox is the fixed bias circuit. So ganito yung itsura niya. Okay, so familiarize nyo, as you can see, RB is connected up to VCC din. Okay, so how do we solve this? Dalawa lang ang loop na tinitingnan natin sa transistor. Una is yung loop na dadaanan yung base emitter junction, and pangalawa is yung loop na dadaanan yung collector emitter junction. Gets? Base emitter, tsaka collector emitter. Walang base collector na loop. Okay, so from base emitter, kung base emitter yon, di ba lagi tayong mag-start sa VCC. So ang current naman laging papunta sa ground. So yan yung magiging loop niya. Kung collector emitter naman, lagi tayong mag-start dito sa VCC and then papuntang ground. So yan yung dalawang loop natin. Okay. So for the first loop, we consider the base emitter circuit loop. We're now gonna write the Kirchhoff's voltage equation. So that would be VCC minus IBRB minus, ito, di ba, may VBE. VBE is equal to 0 kasi ground na. Solving for IB, that will be VCC minus VBE over RB. Now we have the first equation. From here, we can already solve a lot. Bakit? From IB, we can already derive IC. That is equal to beta IB. And this IC, we can use this for the second loop. Diba? For the collector emitter loop, that would be VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. Now, usually, ang sinosolve dyan is VCE. So, VCE will be VCC minus ICRC. Then the question will arise, ano yung IC? You will derive that using this equation. Diba? Doon sa slide about important notes natin, we always say that IC is beta IB. Tama? Okay, and from here, actually everything will follow ng mga tanong. Okay? So here's a sample question. So I hope you have your pen, paper, and calculator with you. Let's try this one. So in here, we are being asked to solve for IB, IC, VCE, VB, VC, and VBC. With beta, value doon ng beta natin is 50. So this is a fixed bias circuit with VCC 12 volts, RB 240 kilo ohms, RC is 2.2 kilo ohms, and beta is 50. Okay, so let's try this one. First, collector emitter loop. So this will be VCC minus IBRB minus VBE is equal to 0. Tama, yan yung loop dito. And then, solving for IB, that will be VCC minus VBE over RB. So IB will be, VCC is 12 volts minus VBE. Di ba sabi natin, dun sa important notes, VBE is always equal to 0.7 volts. So this is 0.7 volts over RB na 240 kilo ohms. So when you execute this in the calculator, it will give us an IB of 47.08 microamperes. So I hope you also get this answer. Okay. Now from here, IB, solve na natin yung IC. IC is simply beta IB. So this is 50 times 47.08 microamperes. This will give us ilan? 2.35 milliamperes. And then we can also solve for VCE. Gagamitin naman natin is dito CE loop kanina. This is base emitter loop. So ngayon na naman, collector emitter loop, that will be VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. So for solving for VCE, that will be VCC minus IC RC. So 12 volts minus IC natin is 2.35 milliamperes times RC na 2.2 kilo ohms. So this will give us ilan? So 12 minus 2.35 milliamperes times 2.2 kilo ohms. This will give us a VCE of 6.82 volts. Tama? VB. What is meant by this? Okay, VB meaning we are measuring, kung meron tayong voltmeter, we are measuring B. So from base, diyan natin lalagay yung positive probe natin papuntang ground. Yung negative probe ng voltmeter natin. So actually, from here, from this illustration, what we see is VB is actually equal lang din naman sa VBE. Diba? So this is 0.7 volts. Paano yung VC? So kung meron kang voltmeter, VC meaning dito sa C kakabit yung positive probe ng voltmeter and then sa ground yung negative probe nun. So actually we're measuring VCE. Tama? So VC pala is actually VCE. So this is 6.82 volts din. Paano VBC? So kung meron akong voltmeter, BC. So B yung nauna, yung positive probe dito sa base and yung negative probe dito sa collector. So paano naman yan? Pag mga double subscript, VBC, this is actually equal to VB. Yung unang ano niya, subscript niya minus VC. Ito. Meron tayong VB tsaka VC. So this is 0.7 volts minus 6.82 volts. So our VBC is actually negative 6.12 volts. Okay, so now we were able to solve this entire fixed bias circuit. So I hope na nasundan niyo yung ating solution.